Thank you, Mr. Swalwell. You're recognized for 4 minutes.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, Speaker Pelosi, for convening us, and thank you to the panelists. I want to especially thank Ms. Hobbs, to you and the students across America who have given us the best shot in a generation to save more lives. Because you marched, because you went to town halls, because you converged with the moms and the Brady group and the Giffords group and Everytown and Newtown and all the groups out there, 17 NRA-endorsed members of Congress are not here today. They lost. And I thank you because when I drop my 2-year-old off at preschool, I think about things that my parents didn't have to think about when they dropped me off. When parents get calls today, they don't fear that their kid's in trouble. They fear that something has happened. And part of your peace plan addresses the 6-point peace plan, not just an assault weapons ban, but also a buyback, seeking to reduce 30% of the firearms in America. I think that's important because banning assault weapons in the future would leave 15 million in our communities today, and that would take decades to get them out of circulation. So can you talk to why you believe a buyback, which is also endorsed by the majority of the presidential candidates who will be on stage on Thursday, why is that important?
Thank you for acknowledging me, Congressman, and thank you for acknowledging the work that me and my colleagues have done with the march. Myself and March, we believe that a buyback is important because it simply isn't enough just to say, like, okay, we're going to have background checks. We're going to do all these preventative measures for people that are in the process of getting guns. It's taking these guns, these harmful guns like AR-15, semi-automatic weapons, off of our streets and out of our communities, because though as long as they are in the community, there's a risk that that gun will be used. I mean, that it just kind of is what it is. And so we need those removed out of our streets, out of our communities, and just out of our households, because that just lowers the risk of a potential shooting. Doesn't even have to be a mass shooting, but just another potential shooting and someone losing their life due to that gun.
Thank you, Ms. Hobbs.
Thank you.
Chief, I watched with horror 2 weeks ago video footage of a California Highway Patrol officer in Riverside County just gunned down. It was a traffic stop, and the driver who was stopped got out of his car with an assault rifle and shot at 3 officers, fatally killing one, and is a brother to 2 police officers. I tell my brothers every day, I'm afraid that with the proliferation of assault weapons in America, that you're outgunned on the streets. And I just wanted to see if you could tell us if there is support across America by chiefs and rank-and-file officers to ban assault weapons.
I think there's a lot of support across the nation from chiefs and rank-and-file officers to have common sense gun legislation. I believe that police officers around the country are fearful for the community, for themselves. They're frustrated, the community is frustrated, and they feel helpless because streets are being flooded with weapons. When you talk to officers in the city of St. Louis, they believe that everyone is potentially carrying a gun today. That creates a very tense and stressful situation throughout the community, and it puts both citizens and officers' lives at risk. And so background checks can stem the flood of those guns into the community and make the community safer and officers' jobs safer. And then I'd also say that, you know, officers are called to communities and homes when people are in crisis all the time, and people are looking for officers to help them through that crisis. And red flag laws would be a tool where officers could help to avert some of these tragedies. We don't know what people are going through, but oftentimes they do call the police to take action. And so I think you'll get broad support from police officers, and especially the rank and file who are
Thank you, Chief.
dealing with these dangerous
Thank
situations.
you. Dr. Chu.